English 121, Day 29, Analyzing Field Research Data, from the Allen and Bacon Guide, pages 201 to 218. Informative writing often uses visual texts to report results. One way to report your results is in the form of a table, which is kind of like a halfway version between a picture and a list. You can see it's not linear, it has two axes, an X and a Y, and it's more visual than straightforward information would normally be. One step up from a table, though, is a line graph. This tells a story more dramatically than a table because it makes the relationship between two variables immediately visible. You can see the relationship portrayed in the trend line here. Always consider the relationship between the horizontal and vertical axes. The horizontal axis contains the predictable known variable. The vertical or y-axis contains the unpredictable variable. In considering ways to report information visually, also consider using pie charts, which depict different percentages of a total and tell the story of how the whole is divided into different sized parts. Also consider using bar graphs. In this way, you use columns of varying lengths to contrast two or more quantities. The key here is to clarity. You need to be clear in the wording of your title, the labels on the axes, and the legend. When reporting information through visual text, be sure to follow a few rules. First of all, do not report raw data. Create composite results by tabulating totals or calculating averages, and then report these results to your readers through words and graphics. Also report your data in such a way that readers can quickly see whether the data support or do not support your hypothesis. And finally, create a scientific ethos that is objective and unbiased. There are multiple ways to cite your informative data in text. In newspapers and popular magazines, writers often include data in graphics without specifically referring to them in the text. However, in academic writing, graphics are always labeled, numbered, and referred to in the text. Also consider how you're going to label the visuals that you use. By convention, tables are listed as tables, while any other type of visual, like graphs, charts, or other drawings or photographs, are known as figures. Also remember that each graphic needs a title that explains the information being displayed. And also remember the law of independent redundancy, which states that the graphic should be understandable without the text should be understandable without the graphic, and the text and the graphic should agree. One way to report your results is through an empirical research report, much like you've done in your lab reports this semester. Remember that the word empirical means investigations based on direct observation of events or phenomena, or on systematically gathered statistical data. The text of most reports is made up of four conventional features: an identification of significant patterns and speculation about causes, a statement about the implications and significance of the results, a discussion of the limitations of the study, and suggestions for future research. Notice that you've already been doing these things all semester long in the formal lab reports that you have written. Also, when gathering your data, be sure to follow guidelines to uphold ethical standards. Obtain informed consent from any of your research subjects. Also, always explain that participation is voluntary. You can't force or coerce someone into participating in your study. Always explain that questionnaires are anonymous, and always obtain consent from parents or guardians when working with minor participants. Follow these strategies and you'll be sure to use field research effectively.